everyone, welcome to Mystic Soul Tarot. My name is Jess, and today I actually didn't ask a question in specific. I just sort of shuffled the cards and let whatever needed to come out, and then from these cards I kind of, pulled some tarot cards and then a couple Moonology cards for you guys. So this reading is mostly just whatever energy you feel like you've been in, be it an energy of moving towards inner peace, moving towards happiness, or if things have been kind of non-stop lately, but you feel like there's, major changes coming. Whatever it is, I want you guys just to take a few deep breaths. So inhale, exhale, and then just kind of let the overall message of each one of these cards guide you, and then pick whichever pile is mostly calling to you. So the first pile is the card of inner peace. Pile number 2 is happiness. And then pile number 3 is healing chaos. Alright, so like I said before, if you want to take a few deep breaths, maybe pause the video, really contemplate which message is calling out to you most, and then we'll go ahead and get right into it. Hi, pile number 1. So if you chose the card of inner peace, this reading is for you. I can actually put it down here. Alright, let's see what you got. So for your tarot cards, you got the 7 of Pentacles. The Sun card, lovely. The Sun has to be one of my favorite cards ever. It's just such a nice energy when it comes into a reading. You got the card of the Devil, which I actually love the way this Devil card looks. It's probably one of my favorite Devil cards from any tarot deck I've ever seen. 2 of Pentacles. And then your last one was the King of Wands. And then for your Moonology cards, you got Surrender to the Divine, and then Meditate and Contemplate. Alright, pile number 1. So right off the bat, I can tell that you have definitely been working on yourself when it comes to like self-healing and just kind of getting past negative thought patterns. I can see that you've been putting in a lot of work when it comes to that, and that's kind of what's been bringing about this new inner peace that you've been experiencing. So the 7 of Pentacles is a card all about just putting in hard work and starting to see results from it. So the fact that the first card for you was inner peace, so this tells me that you've been putting in a lot of work when it comes to just your thought patterns, being more positive, not focusing so much on, negativity, healing from things that have hurt you in the past. I could just see that you've been putting in a tremendous amount of work when it comes to that, and that your spirit guides love it. They love what they're seeing. They love that you're trying so hard, to move past these negative thought patterns. And I can tell that there's like a lot of, like, you've been feeling a lot more peace, So that this card right here of inner peace, this is what this is telling me, that you've just been putting in all this work and you've, seen results from it. And these cards kind of have like a similar color palette, which I really enjoy too. So yeah, this just tells me that you've been really working on breaking old negative thought patterns, and that you've been really seeing a change in yourself. Like the past few months, you've really been just, changing your mindset, which is a hard thing to do, but really, really, really freeing whenever we're able to finally break free from that. And then with the Sun card here, so you're on the right path. You're definitely doing what you need to do in order to have this, healing and inner peace that you're looking for so much. But I can see here that there's still kind of like a little bit ways left to go. So that's what the 7 of Pentacles here tells us too. It's like you've been putting in the work and you've been seeing results, but there's still a little bit more that you need to do in order to completely break free from the negativity, maybe you've been cutting out toxic people in your life. Whatever it is, I could just tell that you've been working really hard towards it, but there's still some work that needs to be done. And we see that represented here with the Devil card. So the Devil card is a card about, like I said, negativity, toxic relationships. Maybe someone in your life is a little bit manipulative, and you've been kind of recently starting to really see that and really wanting to break free from that. So if you see here, it's like the steps are leading up to her mind. So it's almost like it's not so much of an external cause of all this stress and negativity. It's more like overthinking. And I'm surprised like the Eight of Swords didn't pop up, because every time there's usually a situation of overthinking and just being in your own mind a little bit too much, and just just kind of repeating old negative thought patterns. So we see the Eight of Swords, representing that situation. And then in this one, I just feel like the fact that the stairs are leading up into her mind, it's almost like you've been trapped in your mind for a while. You've been for a long time, you've been really held back by your own fear and your own anxiety, which is very hard to push past. But I could see here that you've definitely been there. It's almost like there was a change, all of a sudden out of nowhere, where you were like, okay, enough is enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want my mindset to be like this all the time. And it's really, really helping. It's really changing you for the better. And that's what I see here. It's almost like, and you could see the Sun card, especially here, represents, it's so hard to pick these things up. The Sun card here, she's just, she's just chilling. She's just really embracing the calmness and the peace and quiet. And once again, inner peace. So I feel like this is just a reading about how well you're doing when it comes to pushing past the negativity, even though there's still a little bit more that needs to be done. And then with the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like you're working really hard on finding a balance, between, finding the positivity in situations, and then also kind of being a little bit realistic. But I could tell you here, maybe you've been balancing kind of like work and spirituality as well, because with this Surrender to the Divine card here, I feel like you've been kind of having a spiritual, some spiritual growth as well. So I feel like it's almost like you're trying to find a balance between, I guess, somewhat maintaining your, your personality, but at the same time, really, really delving deep into this, kind of new chapter in your life, where your emotions and your personalities are, it's changing a little bit. So you're becoming more free, you're becoming more sure of yourself, and also possibly even more spiritual, but that, there's still kind of something that you're holding on to. So maybe, this card also tells us about addictive behavior and stuff like that. So maybe it could be an old habit that you find really, really hard to break free from. But I could tell that you're definitely putting in the work that you need to put in, and you're getting closer and closer. This overthinking, this negativity, it could be what's holding you back. And I know you've already made a lot of strides in order to, get better in that aspect. But it's almost like you're kind of trying to, you're not the person you were when you first started this journey, but you're not quite sure who you are yet. And that's kind of what this Two of Pentacles is telling me right after the Devil card. It's almost like you're trying to find a balance between who you were and who you want to be. And then with the King of Wands here, maybe you're a fire sign, maybe you're a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. Happy birthday, Leo. And And so, yeah, I feel like this card is representing who you could be, you know, the person that you really, really want to be. So you're putting in this work, you're starting to see the results, you know, you feel more at peace with yourself, you feel more happiness, you know, whatever hurt you in the past doesn't seem to linger and loom so dark over you anymore. And then this card just tells me, you know, the potential that you have, the potential that you have to finally break free from the last, you know, whatever you're holding on to still, to break free from that and to just completely embrace, you know, your new self, your new, you know, happier, calmer, more positive self that has a load of potential. Because the King of Wands is one of my favorite court cards in the tarot deck, because he's someone who knows who he is, knows what he wants, has this passion and this drive, has this just inner fire that he just kind of wields and has this confidence. So I feel like this is who you can become. And this is who you're already becoming, you know. You're becoming this King of Wands. You're becoming more confident, more sure of yourself, you know, more positive. And maybe you've recently been kind of like delving into things that used to bring you joy, but, you know, for a while there maybe didn't. You know, you're starting to get more into your hobbies again. You're starting to kind of really fall in love with your talents and what you've done in the you know, things you've done in the past. You're starting to pick them up again, and you're starting to really, you know, just find yourself. So I feel like this is a beautiful reading. Like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're doing exactly what you need to do. And so with this card of here, to surrender to the divine, like I said earlier, maybe you've been really delving into spirituality. Whatever it is, I could feel that it's very much helping you, very much helping you continue this positive growth and positive changes in your life. And then when this card here of meditate and contemplate, just like with the Sun card, I feel like it's if you haven't already been meditating, I feel like it's what's gonna finally put you over the edge to where you can finally move on from whatever this Devil card represents here, you know, whatever pain you're holding on to from the past, whatever negative thought patterns you're still kind of holding on to, even without realizing it, you know. I feel like meditating and just delving deep into just maybe doing yoga, you know, something just where you're alone with your thoughts and your peace and quiet, and you can really just reflect. So I feel like that, you know, that's what this card is suggesting. You've already started, but just it's gonna really help put you exactly where you need to be. So yeah, pile number one, I absolutely love this energy. I feel like you guys are doing an amazing job, and I know it's not easy, and this year has been kind of crazy, but I feel like individually for a lot of people there's been a lot of growth and a lot of healing, which is a wonderful thing. So I feel like if you've been kind of like feeling like you've been, you know, trying, and sometimes if you find it very easy to fall back into your negative thought habits, it's okay. You're still putting in so much work, and you're still doing an amazing job, and you're gonna get there. You know, you're definitely gonna get there. You've already come so far, and you can't go back to that person that you were. Like I said, you're just not sure exactly who you are, you know, and that's perfectly fine. You know, enjoy it. Enjoy the journey of discovering yourself, because once you're finally free from whatever is, you know, the last thing that's holding you back, it's just going to be like a completely different, you know, transformation. And you're going to look back at yourself and think, you know, wow, I'm a completely different person now, and I'm in such a better place in my life. So yeah, I wish you guys all the best. If this reading resonated with you, please consider giving it a like, a share, and subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be doing readings as often as I can, and I'm sorry that today's was a little short. I actually didn't even ask for any particular, question or theme or anything like that. I just let the cards come out and, trusted that if you find this video and find this message, that it was just something you needed to hear. So yeah, thank you so much, pile number 1. Hi, pile number 2. So if you chose the card of happiness, this reading is for you. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So for you, I actually pulled a couple more cards because the ones at the base of the shuffle, I always kind of check the base of the shuffle to see, like, it's almost like a clarifying card for me. And the ones at the base of your shuffle were really interesting, so I went ahead and just added them to the actual reading. That way we could get a little bit more insight as to what's going on here. All right, so your first card was 3 of Swords. You got the Queen of Wands, the 9 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 8 of Swords. I was just talking about this card in the last reading. Super interesting. And then this was your first clarifying card, the Wheel of Fortune, and then the card of Death. Just gonna make sure all of these fit real quick. All right, and then for your Moonology cards, you got your hard work is paying off and a time for healing. All right, pile number 2. So right off the bat, in connection with the first card that you picked, the card of happiness, I can see that you all have been through a lot. I don't know if it's super recent, if maybe you've been having a really rough 2020, which is understandable considering everything that's been going on. Or maybe it just could be talking about your life in general, because what I see here is kind of like periods of happiness with periods of like intense sadness in between. So here I see the 3 of Swords, which is a card of like sadness, heartache, and then we see the Queen of Wands. So it's like, and I feel like this is definitely representing you. It's definitely like an energy of just passion and fire, and someone who has a lot of talent and a lot of just vibrancy about them. Just someone who is very, very kind of like warm and just an incredible person. I see that you guys have an incredible energy. But I see here it's like, it's almost like every time you felt like things were going right for you, every time you felt that you were finally, getting out of old habits, old, maybe, prior wounds from past relationships. So once you felt like you were finally getting somewhere, that kind of like things would just go back exactly to how they, maybe not exactly to how they were, but they would just, they would just take a turn for the worst again. And it's almost like you couldn't, it's like it's telling me a story here. It's like, you got hurt, you recovered, and then you got hurt, you recovered, you got hurt. So, because these 3 cards kind of look like the same girl, it's almost like she's going through this. So yeah, I just feel like you guys have had a lot going on, either this year or, in, prior years. I just feel like you poor things, you guys have been through a lot, and I could see a major change coming to where you won't be stopping and starting this cycle of positivity, negativity, happiness, depression. Obviously mental health is a very serious thing, and if you feel like you've been you know, like it's getting too hard, I definitely recommend reaching out to somebody and, you know, talking things through with a mental health professional. But just from looking at these cards, there is a major change coming as to how you deal with these things. So whereas before you were, you know, kind of like trapped in your own mind in these negative situations, or, you know, whatever would go wrong that would kind of send you into this, you know, deep sadness. Because we see like hope here. You know, there's a lot of hope here, especially with this card of happiness. I feel like this message is very specific. So it's almost like it's so hard to say. Okay, so obviously a lot of things that are out of our control have, you know, a very big influence on us when it comes to how, you know, our emotions are. So what I mean by that is there is a lot of external influence here, but there's also a lot of like internal anxiety and fear and overthinking that, you know, kind of contributes to it. So with the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords here especially, those are cards about just feeling trapped in your own mind, feeling like, you know, you don't have a way out, like there's nothing you can do to feel this, you know, happiness. But it's almost like with this card here, you see how like her arms are like very loosely tied, and then she has the blindfold on and then these swords around her, but she could easily get out of this situation if she wanted. And I don't mean that in like a callous, you know, mental health problems are literally just in your head. No, like they're very real, and they're very, you know, they have a very big toll on us. But I feel like something is changing inside of you to where you don't let these, you know, when something doesn't go your way, or when something doesn't turn out how you were expecting it, you're not so quick to jump to this place of negativity and anxiety and fear anymore. You know, you're seeing progress, you're moving on from that. And that's why these two cards, when I saw them at the base of the shuffle, I was like, I need to include them in here, because we have the Wheel of Fortune and then the card of Death. So the Wheel of Fortune tells us of a new cycle starting. There's going to be a big major change for you. You know, it's all about changing of seasons, and the end of one chapter and the start of another. And it's especially punctuated here with the Death card. So it's like a major transformation that you have either already begun or you're going to be starting very soon. You're going to be moving towards this happiness. You're not going to be stuck in this place of just inner turmoil and negativity anymore. You know, like I said earlier, when things don't go your way, you're not going to kind of withdraw into yourself so much anymore. You're going to be able to deal and cope with these situations a lot better. And it's something that's going to be wonderful for your mental health, for your inner happiness, for your healing. It's just going to be this major change. And you might already, you know, be feeling it. You might have noticed that recently, you know, you've sort of been changing the way you react to things. So that's what this tells me here, especially with the cards of the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card. Like, this is major changes here. You're no longer going to be the person that you were in these situations. You know, something new and a lot better is coming for you. There's going to be major changes in your life, and you're not going to be the same person you were. So the card of Death is all about transformation. And then with the Wheel of Fortune being a change, you know, a new cycle starting, it's like the old you, you know, the you that's represented here with the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. Because, you know, the 3 of Swords is all about being, well, not just the 3 of Swords, but the swords are about kind of like being analytical and overthinking, and just being, you know, it has to deal with the mind. So I feel like after these periods of happiness where you would kind of just like shift back into your old ways, that's not going to be a thing anymore. That's not going to be who you are. And that's not going to define how you react to situations anymore. I just see a wonderful, wonderful change here. You moving past, you know, things that no longer make you happy. Just being fed up with, I guess just being fed up with being fed up. You're just tired of, you know, going back to these negative mindsets, and you're just breaking free from all of that. So this is kind of has to do with card number 1 as well, because, or pile number 1 as well, I'm sorry. So you both had just this overall sense of getting better and healing. There's a lot of healing energy here. So then with this card right here, if your hard work is paying off, much like pile number 1, whether you've been meaning to, whether you've been actively, I'm not sure if the camera's picking up the thunder, but it's about to start raining here at any second. Yeah, I don't know if you've been consciously like making this effort, or if it's been something gradual that one day you just kind of noticed like, hey, you know, I'm not so withdrawn these days. I don't overthink things as much as I used to. You know, I'm able to control my anxiety better. I'm not sure if you've seen that change, or if you're just thinking about starting, you know, moving towards that, but you're on the right path. And your spirit guides definitely want you to know that these cycles of feeling happy and then feeling sad and then just feeling like every time something good happens, there's going to be something worse, you know, that happens after, because that's not true. You deserve amazing things. You deserve to be happy. You deserve every good thing that can come towards you. So with this card here, your hard work is paying off. If you haven't already done so, you know, putting conscious effort towards breaking free from these, you know, metaphorical chains and, you know, just this bondage, moving past that. If you haven't begun already, and you're just starting to, or if you've already started to kind of change how you think about things and really change on how you react to situations, then, you know, your spirit guides want you to know that you're doing great, and that you should definitely stay on that path. And then with the card right here, a time for healing, it's very self-explanatory, especially with all the cards that came up. This is a time for you to see your worth, see that you're this Queen of Wands, see that you're this person that deserves happiness, deserves success, deserves, you know, the world. Just great things are coming for you, and believe me when I say that you should be ready to receive them, because they are meant for you and you deserve them. So I feel like you're this passionate person, this amazing person. You just have to see it like the rest of the world sees it, and how your guides see it, and how your higher self sees it. So with this time for healing here, I feel like you are doing amazing, and so many wonderful things are coming for you. And this transformation, this death of your old self, this, you know, change in cycle, wheel of fortune, great things are coming your way, and you should be ready to receive them, because they are meant for you, and you absolutely deserve whatever this is, be it an opportunity, be it a new love in your life. Great things are coming for you. All right, pile number 2, I hope this resonated with you and kind of shed some light on possibly things you've been, you know, going through lately. And I wish you all the best. If this message really resonated with you, please consider giving it a like, sharing this video, and subscribing to my channel. It really helps a lot. Thank you so much. Hi, pile number 3. So if you chose the card of Healing Chaos, then this reading is for you. Let me just say really quickly that you guys had a very interesting pile. And when I see the card of Healing Chaos, it always reminds me of like tower energy, you know, something kind of a big change coming, but it's for the better. And, you know, maybe relationships, maybe certain personality traits, just something that's kind of like defining and very important, something coming to an end, and usually things that are a lot better coming from it. So here we see this tornado, which is kind of like, really embodies the energy of the healing chaos. And then you have these butterflies coming out of it. So butterflies are a huge indicator of transformation. So we see transformation here for the better. And I just wanted to say that because you guys had a very, very interesting pile. And it's actually super interesting how each of the tarot cards related to, like, really well to the card that was chosen. So it always just surprises me how accurate and how connected this, tarot is. But anyway, moving on. So you got the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Wands, Three of Cups. I think this is like the first cup card that came out during this video, which is very interesting. You got the card of the World, lovely. And then last but not least, the Four of Pentacles. And then for your Moonology cards, you got Expect Powerful Change. When I saw this card, I got so excited because everything else in this reading is pointing to very powerful change coming to your life. So this was very much kind of like punctuation for that. And then finally, luck is on your side, which is always a lovely, lovely card to see. All right, pile number 3. So you chose Healing Chaos, and I can see why. There are a lot of major, major changes coming to your life. So here we see the Knight of Wands, and it could be that you're a fire sign. You could be a Leo. Happy birthday, Leos. You could be a Sagittarius or an Aries, or maybe you're just someone who has a lot of fire signs in their natal chart. If not, I feel like this is just representing someone with a lot of ideas, someone who's very dynamic, someone who maybe wants to start their own business, just someone with a lot of creativity and a lot of passion for what they do. So if this doesn't represent you, I feel like it definitely represents the energy here. So there's a lot of quick moving and creative energy here. So then with the Eight of Wands, we see something moving very quickly. So it could be that you've been kind of waiting, maybe you've been waiting for a major phone call, maybe you've recently tried to change career, maybe you recently ended a relationship and are starting a new one, or whatever the major changes going on in your life right now. And if there haven't been any major changes, I feel like there's kind of like something in the air. It's almost like a static electricity in the air, and there's something big coming for you guys. So yeah, the fact that he's like looking at this wand and just like really contemplating it makes me feel like you guys have been really considering taking, an idea off the ground that you've been working on for a while. Maybe you've been mulling it over in your head. Maybe you've been thinking, should I start this business? Should I start doing this? Should I take up this hobby? Should I apply for this job? Whatever it is that you've been considering, I see that it's finally getting off the ground, and it's going to be moving very, very quickly. Whatever it is, whatever it could be for you guys, I feel like it's going to be moving very, very quickly. And it definitely goes with the energy of this healing chaos. It's almost like you started something and then it's just kind of like gotten away from you, but not in a bad sense at all. It's almost like it's like when you roll a snowball and then if you push it down a hill and it just keeps getting more and more snow on it. That's what I see here. So whatever you've initiated or whatever you're thinking of initiating, it's definitely going to be something that takes off very quickly. And then here we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is a card about celebration and happiness. In the case of like romance, if this were a romance reading, it could also signify a third person involved. But I feel like this reading is very much work and creativity related. So I feel like you guys are more wondering about maybe a new project that you've been thinking about, or a new job. just something that you're very passionate about. And I see that you're a very passionate person and that you've been really thinking about this a lot. So with the Three of Cups, it's a card of celebration and happy times ahead. So right after this period of moving quickly, you know, you might be able to catch your breath, or it might, you know, still be moving quickly, but you'll have a chance to kind of enjoy where it's going. I feel like this is going to be a big change, but it's not going to be a change to where you're kind of like struggling to keep up. I feel like it's going to be a change as to where things are just moving very quickly for you, but you've got this, you've got it handled, and it's, you know, it's nothing you can't take care of. So yeah, we see celebration here, you know, period of celebration and happiness. So it's definitely going to be something wonderful coming your way. And then to top it off, we have the card of the World here. So the World card is a card about happiness and feeling complete and feeling like so accomplished. So I see you feeling very whole. Whatever this creative project is or this new relationship is, I see it completing you. Not that you know, aren't complete. I just feel like it's definitely going to be something that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, positive change in your life. And it's going to bring you a lot of happiness. And like I said, it could be a new relationship, but because there's so much creative energy here, and especially with this Four of Pentacles card, I feel like it's mostly career oriented. So with the Four of Pentacles, the fact that it's coming after all of this, I feel like you're going to be being able to save money. So if you're someone who's had a, you know, maybe your last few jobs haven't really been giving you too much material and financial stability, I see that whatever you're working on right now, or whatever you've started, be it a business, be, you know, maybe you've just been kind of deciding whether or not you should start something, I feel like this is a very powerful indicator that either if you have started it, that it's going to turn out wonderfully for you, or that if you haven't, you should definitely consider doing it. So yeah, I just see material stability for you. You know, you'll be able, the fact that these pentacles are inside a box, it's almost like you're going to be able to save money. You're going to have, you know, money in the bank. You're going to be more stable because of this. That this is, whatever this is going to bring you, you know, a lot of financial stability, which is great. And then here we see expect powerful change. So this is basically just like an exclamation point on this reading. You know, you have this healing chaos, you have these big changes, this swift, you know, movement, something taking off very quickly. So expect that things are going to be a little bit hectic, but it's nothing you can't handle, and it's nothing that is going to hurt you in the long run. I feel like this is something that it was a long time coming for you, and that it's going to be going wonderfully. And then you have the card over here of luck is on your side. So like, this is an amazing card, especially considering that this is such a career oriented you know, reading. So don't doubt your abilities. I say that because some of the card at the base of your pile was the Eight of Swords, which also came out for pile number 2. And then I talked about it for pile number 1, even though it didn't come out for pile number 1. So it's so weird how it ended up being such a big part of these readings. But if, you know, if the only thing holding you back is negativity and fear and anxiety, you really want to make sure to try to push past that. And I know it's hard, and I know it's very difficult, but I feel like it would be probably the only thing holding you back from all these wonderful changes coming into your life. And then another card that was at the base of your pile was the card of the stars. So this is just hope, renewal, yeah, just feeling hopeful for the future and feeling like everything is going to be all right. So this is just a wonderful energy for you guys. And if you've been considering something, I strongly recommend, you know, trusting your intuition. You feel like this is something big, you feel like this is something you love to do, then definitely go for it. Don't think that it's something you can't do. Don't think that you know that it's gonna be something that you can't handle. You have to have, you know, faith in yourself and in your dreams, because trust me, putting those thoughts out there, you know, can kind of be counterproductive, whether you realize it or not. And sometimes those thoughts are even unconscious. You know, you might start thinking, well, I really want to start this. I really want to, you know, get in business for that. And I want to do this. I want to maybe go back to school. And then you think, well, it's not really something I can do right now. You know, I don't have the time, or I don't think I'd be able to actually do it. Whatever it is that you've been thinking, you know, whatever cons you've been thinking to this situation, you know, you don't want to focus on them. You want to focus on how much you love and feel passionate about this idea is what you want to focus on. And that's what's going to help, you know, push you past the fear and the anxiety and bring about this very powerful, very wonderful change. And like this card says, luck is on your side. Your spirit guides know that you are trying. Your spirit guides have maybe even been sending you messages, you know, to go for this and to really pour your all into it. So yeah, pile number 3, you have some amazing, amazing things coming for you. If it's been feeling like you can't catch your breath, things have been changing. There's going to be even more changes to come. It's going to be a little while before you're able to finally slow down and relax, but it's going to be so worth it, guys. It's going to be so worth it. And I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching. If this reading resonated with you, please consider giving it a like, sharing it, and subscribing to this channel. It would be so amazing, you know, and such a big help. Thank you all so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much.